Good morning. Mark Donegan, practitioner and educator, September 15th, 2021. This turned out to be like my video diary. I'm supposed to be journaling and I'm allowed to video diary, so this is it. Um, I have another class today with over 100 people. I want to just put it that way. Um, and so that's a very cool thing all by itself. You know, get to hang out with 100 people, and we're all motivated on self care, and we're all clicking together. We have a great little leader. I almost said little. Uh, yeah, why I throw terms onto things? My words are terrible. Um, but time off. So don't jump on myself too hard with the words terrible. Time off. Um, I've often talked about routines. Excuse me, they're my classmates. I apologize to them. I know most of them, they can't take a break, or they feel like they can't break a break. It's just like a lot of people that think they can't take a break. You know, yeah, I'm older, but my children are in their 30s, and I probably have to talk about my youngest daughter the most because uh, I didn't know my older two children a whole lot till lately. But my youngest daughter, I didn't raise by myself, but I was there the whole time, and had great influence in her raising, the raising of my youngest daughter. Great influence, and to this day, she listens to, especially around my health advice and how to take care of herself. Anyways, if she can manage it into her life, um, because she has her own issues from childhood around anxiety that would put even mine to shame. Um, but if she can find the time to take care, self care herself, um, because at times it's become critical, and it will become critical for everyone, then we all can. And that means taking the time off that you need, giving your body what it needs when you're down, or you never come back. That's what people that have not gone down or they're still up and haven't met their match yet. That's what they don't understand. Someday you will. You're human. You're going to die. You are going to meet your match. The universe is out there waiting to meet you. If you haven't found it in a human, the universe is out there waiting for you. Let me tell you. All right, because a lot of humans have tried to bring that to me, and they had nothing on the universe. So yeah, today I'm resetting. It's just so much emotionally with this class, and then physically what's going on with me. And I think that's why I jumped on here again. This is video diary, and the self healing practitioner is sharing who I am and what I'm going through. And yesterday's video, I talked directly to my classmates, talking about some of the medications that I'm on, and I didn't take any at all last night, so I have a really funky feeling in my body. Well, I didn't take any yesterday either, and I sort of like generally take something at night. Um, Not generally, I shouldn't say generally. Things are different, and that's what I should explain. I think the way it was before is I had two medications, and yesterday I referred to them as narcotic, and they're not. It depends on how you. Narcotic in the book dictionary means opiates, and I don't do opiates. But in my training, things that are narcotic are things that you can get a physical dependence upon, and that's different category of drugs. And then of course they made all these categories of drugs and they messed it all up where nobody can figure it all out. Well, none of them are any good. They all got tons of buffers, and none of them are any that great. Well, anyways, it's trade off. When you get in my position, you've got to do things or you don't live. You Right now we're trying to get it to where I can just freaking eat and keep food inside of me. Basic survival function. All right, I got to reset. I get around people that are healthy, and I forget that I'm not normal. I'm not normal at all. Um, I don't know if they realize they're not normal either. They just haven't met, again. They haven't met their thing. So all these 100 people I'm in class with, they either hopefully are working this self care routine as hard as I am on every aspect, or they're gonna meet their match and have to take the time completely off and away. Their whole life will just have to change, and I don't want to ever have to see anybody go through that kind of trauma that I've repeatedly had to go through in my life. And I just have to accept my disabilities and be thankful for when I'm able to stand. And today's not going to be one of those days, because and I know I will somewhere, if I push and I keep, trying to override, then failure is a definite possibility. So I shouldn't say I'm going to, because I'm really going to try to stay not off my feet. I'm going to do my workouts, but and maybe I will do my aerobics today. My cardio. I should what I should call it, because I'm real distinct about how I work my body out. You don't need cardio every day. You need it 3 times a week. I've explained this before. You need things 3 times a week at a minimum. If you can do them more, that's great. But all these people that keep saying, "Oh, you got to do this every day," I'm not buying it. You don't. In fact, I think it's just wrong to do the same things every day. Um, and I've really experimented with this. Man, wake up and drink some whiskey and get liquored in the first thing in the morning. Especially if you ain't drinking, you're teetotalers. I don't know where I'm going with all that either. It's like everybody has their own personal things, and then when you're forced, because your body to have to take medications to live, and you have to be forced into those realities where other people get lucky, but they don't have to deal about it, and they get to put down on you because, oh, I don't need this, or I don't need that, and that's what doctors say. Dude, you need this. Quit playing around and not taking it, because you're listening to other people's judgments. And then, they'll ship me off to a shrink if I don't start taking the dang, they would try. They've tried, they've done it in the past. I'm old enough now, and I know better. They ain't playing that with me. Same with the medications. So anyways, I had 2 that they would have deemed slightly narcotic. I used to take once in a while. I had, I could take, for every 3 days. How's a good way to explain this? Um, I had enough for 20 days out of the month. So it means 10 days out of the month, I wasn't taking anything. And I was splitting those 20 days with 2 different very light medications. Okay, now they threw in 3 new medications, and one of them doesn't have really any sleep effects. So I like that one. That's the one I wanted for during the day to help me out. Right. Well, then they threw these other 2 at me, and they both got sleep effects on them. So I've already learned I don't want to do them like they want and take one during the day, because that's not happening. Then my experiments with these 2 that help at night, are supposed to help at night for sleeping, is they don't help that much at night for sleeping, even though they knock me off. So I haven't figured out my regimen with all of this yet. But as a practitioner, I'm going to develop my own. And knowing all the things I know about medications and buffers and dependence and all those types of things, these 2 are very important. They want me on them so I can eat, and I can't eat because there's nerve and muscle impulses to my stomach that won't allow it to unlock and allow food in or anything to work. So it's a really, really tough problem, especially since I'm not wanting to take the medications. So what I'm going to end up doing is making sure that I don't take anything every night, not dependent on anything for sleep. I know that's first priority. Physical dependence, especially sleep. Do not get your sleep screwed with, right? If any of these screws my sleep in any way, they're out of the picture. If they help in any way, they're not become more of the picture. It's just going to be, okay, this one works a little better to help me sleep at night. And again, basically now I'm working with 5 different that I'm not going to take any very often. So it's quite a smorgasbord. And then I've been in worse. And then they will throw me into worse if I get lost in all of this. And that's what's the most important thing I'm trying to convey here. No matter what your situation, whether it's medications, whether you're in life working and you're not eating your lunch, or wherever's missing in your program, or you've got too much, that imbalances, there's where you need to work. It doesn't have to be a hard thing, and you don't have to push through anything. something I learned coming off opiates was I didn't have to do anything. All I had to do was not do stuff. So when you look at your life, and when I'm thinking about my classmates today and thinking about their lives, don't think so much of what you have to do around the self care today. Think about all the things that you should not be doing that would add to your self care that you normally would do. Yeah, leaving stuff out. And pretty much everybody, in no matter what your life is like, you got stuff, you got patterns that you're doing every day that you could really use leaving out. And a lot of it's mental programming, how you're thinking about different things. You know, if you could just for one day just drop your mental attitude around everything and try to look at it like a new child somehow, you'd see what I mean. And your days will start going easier if you could mentally focus on that all the time. Um, and I don't see that there's any reason why anyone has an excuse not to do these things. I used to give working people excuses. I'm cutting that out. No longer. Um, yeah, I may have more time than they do, but again, it comes down to priorities. And then when I look at working people, uh, all the people that I see like working 18 hours a day at their job and turn around telling everybody, oh, I'm the sheriff or I'm this person, and I'm not judge and I'm this attorney and I've got to work, blah, 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 and everybody's depending on me. Those are the people I see not doing their jobs. Not only do I see them breaking their bodies down, their minds down, and mentally, I see them going around telling the world, I'm badass, I'm doing my job, and they're not doing their damn job. And I'll tell them that, and that's what I'm walking around doing. I ain't making no friends that way. And that's just too flipping bad. And again, I just mentally cut the grain there in my mind where if you're working a job, I don't care. I live with immigrants that go out and work in the fields all day, every day. They give up everything in their body, and they still got time to drink and have fun. So there you go. So if you're out grinding till you're ground to the nub, you did it to yourself. That's a flip off. It's not what you need to do, it's what you need to stop doing. And that's with all of us. That's with me. And that's with today. Day off, whether I like it or not. Cannot grind through. You're dropping that name, Greg.